the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you can see all the things that's going on all around you. That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you can see all the things that's going on all around you. That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you can see all the things that's going on all around you. That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you can see all the things that's going on all around you. And we tell it like it is.
Welcome to That's the Reality of It. My name is Kanika.
And I am William.
And we're so ecstatic that you've joined us again for another excellent Sunday full of some hard-hitting, keeping it real, tell it like it is commentary, right?
That's right. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So I switched my car insurance to State Farm. I saved $480. You know what that is?
Yeah, don't say it.
You know what it is, right?
Yeah, don't.
It's a lot of dough.
Switch and you could save $480 with State Farm.
It's a lot of dough.
See if Bryant Jenkins in Reisterstown can save you a lot of dough.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
At Liberty Animal Clinic, they know that your pet is a member of the family and you want to make sure they are healthy and receive excellent care. Their top veterinarians and staff will treat them like family and give the best care, medical treatment, and attention you can get anywhere. Liberty Animal Clinic provides these excellent services and they are open 6 days a week, including giving them a complete physical, and office hours are by appointment, so please call. Let your extended family
Join our family!
Welcome to the segment with Dr. Willie Richardson. It's your health and wealth. As a matter of fact, today I have with me Ms. Joyce Green, and we continue her story from last week, and also my friend, Mr. William Allen.
Yeah, they brought me back. I felt kind of lonesome, but he brought me back.
William was so curious about some of the things that Joyce had shared. And what were some of the questions you were asking her?
We've heard the journey, okay? From you being from, some of the journey.
Part of it.
We can't be here a year to hear it, but it was part of the journey. So you were like almost invalid at one time. That's what it sounded like, because you went through all kinds of health issues. Mm-hmm. Now, name the health issues that you've had and then what's gone from those health issues.
Okay, what's resolved already?
Okay. Well, everything has been resolved. So, anything I say
As
is
a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to name a few of them. I'm going to just name you said resolved or not.
Well,
but I know you had sciatica.
Yep, I had sciatica.
Is that resolved?
I have vertigo, yes.
Vertigo, resolved?
Yes. I've had herniated disc.
Herniated disc?
No operation. I had
no surgery.
Crushing disc. I had nerve ending damage. I had my shoulder sewed back on totally because it had ripped all the way off.
It came off. You had surgery for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it ripped off. I fell in the driveway,
It
and
fell.
it ripped all the way off. Okay,
Yeah.
I had asthma brought on by allergies.
Mm-hmm.
I had
You had a hernia.
yes, I had a hernia, and I had the operation because the whole intestines and everything had went up in
into
there.
your chest.
And
Yes.
Dr. Henry from
You had a heart problem too, right?
well, it was really back problems because when
But the
I
doctor
was learning,
diagnosed it as a heart
yes, heart problem. They said I had. I would have been on blood thinner if I had not been blessed to get away from it.
They put people on blood thinners when they have arrhythmia.
Yeah.
So that you don't get a clot that goes to the brain or goes to the
and
heart.
it's not
you get a
even
heart
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because right now I'm on an aspirin a day regimen.
well, you better jump on the healthy stuff real quick.
Hey, believe me, I'm ready to jump on it like now.
Because all of that, none of that is, your body was built to repair itself. If God gave one little egg and made your whole body split up into all these little fingers and stuff, you think he would have left out the repair kit?
I understand it. It makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, now that you've been taking the 90 for life and the different aspects of what comes with it, depending on your health issues, you're in excellent shape now, right?
That's right.
Like you say, you feel like you're 26.
Or what, maybe 16 right
16.
now. But anyway.
That's even better. You're 16. So where do you go at this point now that your body's in operating order?
where I'm going is I'm going to tell the world, and I'm going to keep my body in operating order so I can be an example for the world. Because the people have to see, like my daughter said, that's why we wind up
see
losing
before
weight.
they believe.
They have
Yeah.
to see you, and I've been around long enough to make my family slowly come around and start taking the minerals and vitamins.
Wow.
They have to be a model for them, the people that believe. Just
Let me just share one thing so that people don't get a misunderstanding. Now, vitamins, minerals, and so forth are not intended to diagnose, treat, or prevent anything. That's not what it does. What it does is supports the body's ability to correct itself. And that's what Dr. Waller will tell you, won't he?
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. And that's what it does. It does. So
Okay.
So you started how many years ago with the Dr. Wilder program?
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. So in 3 or 4 years, you came from not being able to walk,
That's right.
not being able to put on high heels,
That's right.
not being able to dance,
Overweight.
not overweight, all kinds of
Heart
body issues,
Yes,
bone
yes,
issues,
that's correct.
high
Wow.
blood pressure, diabetes.
Heart
In
problems.
3 or 4 years, you have no more of those problems.
I haven't even taken any medicine in 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
I haven't had to have any medicine. I haven't had to have pain medicine or nothing.
Did the doctor suggest that you should be taking it?
Oh, when I saw the heart doctor about 4 years ago, he said, "Oh, you need some Prevacid." I said, "Dr. Henry, I take fluorides and enzymes." And you know what that heart doctor said? He said, "Take them then." And he said, "Give me some of your cards to put in my office."
He wants to take some now, right?
But what I'm saying is, I should have been back down there by now. But anyway, I've never been back.
As a
Okay.
matter of fact, I remember we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that there is one doctor that came on board with us.
Yes, in
We
Texas.
don't have to say who that is, but
Yeah.
anyway, he came on board, and they're going to
And he's
really get
excited.
on the program. How old is that person?
He's 68.
As a matter of fact, you know what? We're going to talk about that next week, and with that said, we'll be right back.
Okay.
I used to be on crack cocaine.
I used to be on heroin.
I used to be on heroin.
I used to be on pills.
And now we're not.
My name is Pamela Dukes. I used to be an addict. Now I'm the owner of By Grace Counseling Services, where we help addicts become productive members of society.
By Grace Counseling Services is a certified methadone clinic, and they can help you live a drug-free life. Don't fight those demons alone. Call 443-831-0191. Call now.
It's time to hit the trails on a bike from the Pikesville Bicycle Shop. They have all makes and models for all ages and sizes, and they'll service your bike and customize it to fit your needs. So for the very best variety of bikes, the best service and price, come to Pikesville Bicycle Shop or call 410-602-BIKE and take advantage of our special deals.
I love my Hero.
Okay, welcome back to That's the Reality of It. I have another guest. Her name is Angela, and we're here at By Grace Counseling Center. Miss Angela, thank you for coming.
Thank you for
I
having me.
appreciate you. And what made you decide to come to By Grace Counseling Center?
Well, I heard a lot about By Grace. I also have another family member that's here, and he talks great about By Grace. So he spoke to me and told me that he was doing great here, so I thought I'd give it a chance.
Okay. And how long, what is your drug of choice?
My drug of choice was heroin and cocaine.
And cocaine? How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing heroin and cocaine for 25 years.
25 years. Wow. How has that affected your life up to this point?
It has affected my whole life.
Okay.
Turned it upside down.
Okay, in which ways?
In any which way that it could go, the wrong way.
Any relationship issues? Children? You have any children?
I have one son. He's 24.
Okay. Is he supportive of you?
Very. I have a very good support system, family, and yes, I do.
Okay. What triggered you into doing the drugs? What made you decide to try it?
To fit in.
To fit in?
To fit in, yeah, and curiosity.
Okay.
You know, for the heroin, you know, just the nodding out. You know, I wanted to wonder why those people nodded out the way that they did. What did they have up in their system that made them feel that good?
Oh, so you thought the nodding out was feeling good?
Not just the nodding out, but the effects of the nodding out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did any of them that you talked to that was nodding out tell you, oh, how good this feels to do that?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
They certainly did.
Were you influenced by older people or people your age?
Well,
or
it was
young?
people of all ages, young, old, no special age. The disease of addiction does not discriminate on age.
Okay. I mean, did they influence you? What ages did they influence you?
It was no special age, you know. They come in at all ages. I seen some, you know, not no babies, but kids under the age of 18.
I mean, did they come to you and say, "Try this"? I mean, were you a teenager and an adult came and say,
It
"Try"?
was when I was in high school. I had teenagers come to me and tell me, you know, that try this. This will make you feel a certain way, you know. Because in high school, I was had a low self-esteem in high school.
Okay.
So they told me, you know, if that was like, you do this, you'll feel like Superwoman. It'll make you do anything.
Okay.
Feel any kind of way you want to feel.
Did it cause you any criminal issues?
Oh yeah, criminal background. Yes, it's. I can't say a criminal background is good, but yes, it did. It did.
Okay. Now, what made you decide? Was it your family that made you decide? I was just tired of the drugs, I'm tired of being this way. What made you decide to just give it up?
I was tired. It's been a long 25 years. Also family, you know, I saw what it was doing to them. Mm-hmm. You know, my son, my mom, she's not sickly, but she's getting old, and she's been there. Her and my son has been there through my whole addiction. And this is not the first time I've been in recovery. I've tried it before, so I had the support system. You know, they saw what it was also doing to me.
Now, you've been into recovery before. What made you go back from that recovery?
What made me relapse?
Yeah, relapse.
What made me relapse is I stopped doing the things that kept me in recovery.
Okay.
You know, so I went back to around people that were still doing drugs, you know, people, places, and things. I went back to the old places, the old people, and doing the old things.
Okay. So you're inpatient here, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You decided to be an inpatient because?
Because from the last time that I was in recovery, I did inpatient, and I did very well.
Okay.
I did very well. I didn't want to do, you know, outpatient because I needed some time away.
Away from
away from all the surroundings and everything to get myself together.
So how long have you been in this program so far?
I've been here, today makes 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the effects of that, of being here yet?
Yeah, I felt the effects the first week.
The first week?
Mm-hmm. The first week I felt them.
And you haven't used in, 4 weeks?
In 4 weeks. I used the day before I came in here.
Okay.
Which was November the 2nd.
So you used the day before you came
November the 1st.
Okay. What made you use the day before to get your nerve up to come here?
Well, I was told that I might not get medicated, you know, that same day that I came in for the intake. And, you know, the first day would be a lot of paperwork. So I didn't want to be, you know, didn't want to feel sick.
Gotcha.
So I used the day before, and then the next morning I got up and I came here ready to start my journey.
Gotcha. All right. Miss Angela, I appreciate you.
All right.
And
Thank you very much.
Success with your recovery.
I certainly will. Thank you.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Did you know that 1 out of 8 people will get breast cancer?
I'm Dorisa Harvey, the Midday Diva. And I'm Lolo of the Quiet Fire. The stress of this disease is compounded by the stress of their daily needs.
Daily needs such as food, bras, wigs, help with utilities, rent, and treatment.
The Dale Kager Hats Off Breast Cancer Foundation provides this help that is so desperately needed.
But they need your help to continue.
So send your tax-deductible donations to the website below or call.
We can help them, but only if you help us.
If you're looking for a primary care doctor that truly puts patients first, then call Windsor Medical Center, where you'll get excellent care from award-winning Dr. Nkwan Yu. Windsor Medical Center is equipped to diagnose many health issues, including heart, lungs, and diabetes.
We really care
about you at the Windsor Medical Center.
Call 410-265-7742. If you want some serious made-from-scratch delicious homemade cooking, don't go anywhere else but Foods Made Good in Randallstown. This is real homemade food and desserts, not from boxes, but from scratch. The top chefs at Foods Made Good will make you want to stop cooking forever. They also cater for all occasions and events with a large variety of delicious homemade entries, desserts, and drinks. Your guests will be impressed. So come in or call Foods Made Good, 410-655-0707. It tastes so good, makes you want to smack your mama.
Wendell Oliver Scott was an American stock car racing driver. He was the first African-American driver in NASCAR and the first African-American to win a race in the Grand National Series, NASCAR's highest level. Scott was born in Danville, Virginia, and from a boyhood, he wanted to be his own boss. He learned auto mechanics from his father, who worked as an auto mechanic for two well-to-do white families. As a child growing up, Scott was known as a daredevil for anything that had wheels. Scott was around 30 years old when he was sitting in the bleachers of local speedways watching white men race. Up to then, he had lived his whole life under the rigid rules of segregation. In 1950, he made his first attempt to enter a NASCAR-sponsored race. Because he had light skin, officials didn't recognize that he was black. But when he went to purchase the safety belt, they'd asked him to buy so he could drive. His race was recognized, and he was told that he couldn't participate. Of course, no reason was given. In 1954, he was accepted into the NASCAR Modified Division. In those years, he honed his driving skills and began winning races. He ended up winning around 127 races in these lower divisions. In 1961, Scott debuted in the Grand National, now known as the Winston Cup, at the Spartanburg Fairgrounds in South Carolina. In the beginning of his Grand National career, he faced racism from officials, drivers, and crowds. Drivers of races would try to force him off the track. Inspectors would demand enormous repairs like fixing chip paint before letting him race. He was once disqualified from a race because his crew was racially mixed. Sometimes he was only allowed to have his wife in the pit to help him during a race. Crowds would often jeer at him, but Scott persisted. And he finished in the top 10 5 times in 1961. Even skilled drivers can be involved in accidents, and Scott had his fair share. Sometimes he was able to fix the car and get back on the track to finish the race, and sometimes even the best attempts failed. In 1973, he was involved in a multiple car pileup in Alabama. The resulting injuries nearly killed him. He survived the crash despite fracturing his ribs, pelvis, both knees, and one of his legs. He also needed 60 stitches to close up a wound in his arm. The wreck forced Scott to retire. Scott kept racing until 1973 and died in 1990. Till this day, no other African American has won a top NASCAR race, and very few African American drivers have gotten behind the wheel. But Scott's accomplishment has opened the doors for many others, and in January of 2015, Wendell Scott, among 5 others, was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It has been 52 years since Scott won his NASCAR race at the Speedway Park in Jacksonville, Florida. And now he's rewarded for being a tough driver and a trailblazer. Wendell Scott fulfilled his destiny, and we are all proud to say that he's the first African American to be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And these words were spoken by Wendell Scott's son, Wendell Scott Jr. And that's why we are proud to celebrate this African American legend here on the Talk Lounge in 5. Until next week, keep it talking.
It's time to hit the trails on a bike from the Pikesville Bicycle Shop. They have all makes and models for all ages and sizes, and they'll service your bike and customize it to fit your needs. So for the very best variety of bikes, the best service and price, come to Pikesville Bicycle Shop or call 410-602-BIKE and take advantage of our special deals.
I love my hero.
If you want some serious made-from-scratch delicious homemade cooking, don't go anywhere else but Foods Made Good in Randallstown. This is real homemade food and desserts, not from boxes, but from scratch. The top chefs at Foods Made Good will make you want to stop cooking forever. They also cater for all occasions and events with a large variety of delicious homemade entries, desserts, and drinks. Your guests will be impressed. So come in or call Foods Made Good, 410-655-0707. It tastes so good, makes you want to smack your mama.
Welcome back to That's the Reality of It, and I am here with a very good friend of mine. He's also my doctor, and you've seen him before on the show, so you know what we're going to be talking about. But it was a pleasure having you back, Doctor.
Thank you very much for having me.
And today we want to talk about something, it's kind of personal to me as well because I have what we're going to talk about.
Sure.
But it was curious because when I talked with you before, and it's about diverticulosis. And I had to stop. I was told to stop eating peanuts, popcorn, all the good stuff that I love to eat. And you said, why? You don't really have to do that. And I said, what? So explain.
Well, let me take a step back for your audience who might not know what diverticuli are. Diverticuli are little outpouchings of the colon that many, in fact, 50% of people age 50 and probably 3/4 of people age 75 have. And for the vast majority of people, they wouldn't know that they even have these outpouchings because the vast majority of people aren't affected by them. But there are a small minority of patients who can bleed from these outpouchings and actually potentially bleed very severely. Or they can have these outpouchings become infected, and that's called a diverticulitis. And that's appreciated as a belly pain where these outpouchings are. And that's treated with antibiotics orally, sometimes intravenously, and rarely do people actually need surgeries. As to your question about avoiding nuts, seeds, corn, for many, many years, patients have been told, probably by gastroenterologists and still by a few of my surgical colleagues, to avoid things like nuts, seeds, popcorn, and the thoughts that these tiny little things would embed themselves in these outpouchings and possibly precipitate a diverticulitis.
Which is an infection, right?
Right, and for the most part, that's been debunked. There was a large study recently of actually several thousand patients. I believe this was in 2008. I always had carried around in case people ask, which analyzed people who did and didn't observe this type of diet in people who had diverticular disease, and they really didn't find any difference. So on the basis of this paper, the more recent reviews, at least in the medical literature, would say you don't necessarily have to avoid these food products.
Now, my wife has diverticulosis too, and she eats everything. Peanuts, popcorn. She doesn't skip any of those things that I love to eat. And she's never had an issue.
Well, again, the studies would show it really doesn't make a difference. One wishes we had more control over our bodies than we really do. And the precipitants of either diverticular bleeding or diverticulitis, they're not really quite known. We know how to treat them, diverticulitis, when it happens, but how to stop it from happening, I wish we had better answers for everyone.
So do you think that the diverticulitis has so based on what you're saying, people can get these diverticulitis pains and infections without eating anything? Because my sister doesn't eat those things and she still keeps getting it.
We're not clear what precipitates that, so yes, one can eat quote-unquote bad stuff, although I just told you it's really not bad for you, and not have any symptoms, and you can follow that erroneous diet as much as you want, and you can still have diverticular disease. Kind of people who have bad diverticular disease have bad diverticular disease, and those who don't.
So I just happen to fall in the category where I keep getting this infection, and my wife doesn't. And I want to eat those things, but I'm so paranoid.
Well, I have no problem if patients think they're benefiting by avoiding them. I have no problem saying, look, if you're doing okay, continue what you're doing. And again, if people have episodes of diverticulitis, it's always a question, well, how many episodes do you get before we need to do something different? And unfortunately, different is a surgery. If you can isolate, or you think you can isolate the area of the colon that is infected, my surgical colleagues actually will remove that. It used to be that you had more than one episode, you went to the surgeons. We're perhaps a little bit more liberal in that respect. These days, the surgeons, if they are removing the colon, you'd like to be able to, or a piece of the colon, you'd like to be able to do that more electively, when hopefully that surgery can be done laparoscopically through very, very, very small incisions, as opposed to an emergency surgery for diverticulitis, which, if needed, sometimes requires the making of a temporary, at least colostomy, only to be brought down at a later date.
Okay, let's talk about that. I want to do a part 2 on this, to talk about those different things that you may have to do if persons have it in a severe way or issues with it. How can they reach you, doctor?
Well, our office at Woodhome Gastroenterology locally is 410-602-7782. Myself, my 9 partners are there.
7782?
Yes, sir.
All right, Dr. Heller, I appreciate you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I used to be on crack cocaine.
I used to be on heroin.
I used to be on heroin.
I used to be on pills.
And now we're not.
My name is Pamela Dukes. I used to be an addict. Now I'm the owner of By Grace Counseling Services, where we help addicts become productive members of society.
By Grace Counseling Services is a certified methadone clinic, and they can help you live a drug-free life. Don't fight those demons alone. Call 443-831-0191. Call now. Did you know that 1 out of 8 people will get breast cancer?
I'm Dorisa Harvey, the Midday Diva, and I'm Lolo of the Quiet Fire. The stress of this disease is compounded by the stress of their daily needs.
Daily needs such as food, bras, wigs, help with utilities, rent, and treatment.
The Dale Kager Hats Off Breast Cancer Foundation provides this help that is so desperately needed.
But they need your help to continue.
So send your tax-deductible donations to the website below or call.
We can help them, but only if you help us.
Kanika, you start.
You look like you're very excited when we was cut back from camera. It's been a great show.
It's been a great show.
Yeah,
I'm
you
excited.
were like, you had to run through the camera.
I am. I'm excited because we had an excellent show, and I've got some very good information.
Yes, about eggs and chicken skins.
Eggs and chicken. I don't know if that was on this particular segment,
Yeah.
but we did learn about eggs and chicken skins.
And how it can increase your libido.
That's right, and you brought it up because you had.
I did because I felt sorry for you.
But did you have some issues?
I didn't have issues.
We weren't talking about that
I don't have
before.
issues.
We don't know. She's talking about expressway to love, coming off the exits and all that.
Yeah,
Something
right.
happened up in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Get us some chicken skins. So if it's all good, it's all gone.
You cannot put God in that title.
So be blessed. Put God first. Because through Him,
all things are possible,
all
right?
possible. Get her some chicken skins and eggs. See you next week.
A cheesy guy can make the world go round. Or can he? New episodes every Thursday. Oh, that cheesy guy. Funny, hokey, cheesy, but it's family friendly. Now with his own YouTube channel. How do I get myself into these things? Subscribe today. It's free.
That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you get to see all the things that's going on all around you. That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you get to see all the things that's going on all around you. That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you get to see all the things that's going on all around you. That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you get to see all the things that's going on all around you. That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you get to see all the things that's going on all around you. And we tell it like it is.